We live in the age of total information, and yet we face an unprecedented crisis of credibility. The paradox is disconcerting. At the time of history in which medicine is most accurate, distrust of experts reaches alarming levels. This phenomenon suggests that the problem is not the lack of data, but a systemic breakdown of the emotional connection between science and society. If you are liking this content, don't forget to subscribe and give it like. It's important that we share this information to better understand the current challenges in scientific communication. Science and trust are issues that affect us all, and your support is fundamental. While science communicates through institutional coldness, social networks have created an ecosystem where perceived authenticity is more valued than the academic title. To understand this situation, we must analyze the collision between our brain, designed for tribal trust, and the manipulation of digital platforms. Science uses nuances and recognizes limitations, but in social networks, this prudence is perceived as weakness. Influencers offer absolute certainties, appealing to emotional resonance. This reveals that when people feel vulnerable, they prioritize emotion over statistical validity. Social media algorithms reward content that generates quick reactions. A scientific article requires time to be processed, while a short video directly impacts the limbic system, affecting the perception of medical authority and favoring content creators. In the past, health communication was one way, but that hierarchy has collapsed. Social networks have democratized the voice, but they have also blurred the validation criteria. Science has made the mistake of thinking that the facts explain themselves, ignoring the importance of social trust. When a medical institution publishes a recommendation based on a study, it competes with conspiracy theories that use a more attractive language. People do not reject science, but the model of aseptic communication that surrounds it. They seek authenticity and emotional transparency, even if they lack an empirical basis. Digital platforms do not inform but retain users. Through filter bubbles, they feed previous beliefs, creating echo cameras. The scientific community must understand that disinformation is not only fought with data, but also with a strategic presence in current conversations. The solution is not to return to the authoritarian model, but to move towards a co-production of health. This implies that scientists and institutions interact with the public horizontally, listening and responding with empathy. Confidence must be gained in the human field, recognizing uncertainty. It is necessary to create infrastructures of emotional transparency in science. It is not enough to publish results. Processes and errors must be explained. Showing the costs of science generates a perception of honesty, the only vaccine against bulls. Science must be a resilient dialogue. We are at a point of no return. Scientific communication faces the challenge of its own survival as a social authority. If we do not balance rigor and emotional connection, the gap between the laboratory and the street will continue to grow. The goal is for science to inspire the trust that tradition once bestowed. The challenge is to turn cold data into a shared truth. Only when the scientific community assumes that communication is as critical as the experiment will we be able to diffuse the emotional trap of social networks. This change can be the beginning of a new alliance based on transparency.